Hey everybody, it's Sarah. Welcome back to the Scrappery. I have another Project Life week to share with you today. I believe I am doing week 28. This was back in July. I am actually doing a quick 6x8 insert here for you for the 4th of July spread that I did last week. I have two 4x6 vertical pictures that I wanted to put in the middle of that 2-page spread, and I didn't really know what to do with it. So I found a 6x8 insert and I cut down a piece of acetate, put both of my pictures on each side, put a little label, stamped the date, and now I'm going to fill both sides with some of that gorgeous sequin mix that Renelle made. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of chunky iridescent glitter just to give it a little more movement. And then I'm just going to throw it through my sewing machine just so nothing is going to leak out. I don't like to use my fuse. I have way too many problems with that, so my sewing machine it is. So there you go. That's just a quick look, and that is going to go into my album. I'm actually going to grab it here quick just so you can see what it looks like tucked inside of my 4th of July spread that I did last week. Now I'm back and we are going to start doing my actual week. I grabbed one of those beautiful doilies that came in the kit, and then the only things I grabbed from my stash were some really old Maggie Holmes word thickers and some of those white half dipped in gold thickers that are from the Crate Paper Valentine's collection from last year. I had a few of those left and they are not sticky at all. I don't know if that's kind of always how they were because I didn't really use them much, or just if over the year they've gotten unsticky. So I am going to actually end up sewing every single one of them on, which is fine because you know me, I love to sew. So I added the doily, I added a puffy sticker, and I added one of those gorgeous cork butterflies. And then here I am just stamping the date on one of the Cut Apart Elle Studio labels, and I'm just going to stick that on and embellish with some of the beautiful Kaiser Craft gemstones and pearls that came in the kit. And here I am deciding, yep, gonna have to sew those guys on because they're just moving around. So that is my title card done, and I wanted to play around with this Kaiser Craft spray here. It's called Antique Gold, and it has a very nice shimmer in it. It is pretty dark when it is wet, but once it dried down a little bit, it was more of a sparkly gold. So then on top of that, I just added July there, and I am going to sew that on, and I added the puffy sticker that says Memories, or Remembered, or Dreamer, or something like that. And then I just cut my fingernails, so I'm having to use my little tool a little bit to move the gems around because I don't have much fingernails to work with. Now I'm just going to add some of those beautiful washi strips that have sentiments on them on some of my 3x4 cards, or pictures. Just because I don't like to leave many of my pictures without embellishments of some sort. So now I'm grabbing for those really very nice rub-ons. I'm very impressed with how easy to use they are. They're quite sticky, so I like to cut them apart to use them individually because I don't want any of them to transfer unnecessarily to my photos, so I like to cut them apart to use them. Now on this 4x6 piece of pattern paper that I cut from one of the big 12x12s, I added one of the rub-ons, and now I'm going to add a couple more, some of the star ones, just because I felt like that floral arrangement looked a little plunked. So I just added some of the gold stars on both sides, and the ones that I had already cut out from cutting out the one that I put on the 4x6 picture worked really well. Now I'm going to use some of the stamps that came in the kit and just use my black stays on, and it says so fancy, or so fancy, and all it was just a really fun quick date night with my husband and I. We ran to Lianshin, which is a kind of like Chinese, I don't know, it's not like typical Chinese food. I don't know, it's really good. You ladies in the States will know what it is. It's my favorite Chinese food. It's not a buffet. And I'm just using my sewing machine to get those thickers to stay on that say date night. And then I did embellish just with more of the Kaiser Craft pearls and gemstones. On the right there, that is another 4x6 that I cut from a 12x12, and that is my drink that I had there that night. I had a cold, and that was strawberry lemonade, and it tasted so good on my cold because there's nothing worse than a summer cold. So I just added one of the cork and gold feathers, a puffy heart, and some enamel, or some of the Kaisercraft gemstones. And then I added that big teal one kind of in the middle there. That was one of the little bits and pieces that Ronell made. So now we're moving on to the right side of the spread. This was a beach day and a trip to the library. Not in the same day, but that's what I'm covering on the right side there. So I grabbed one of those Becky Higgins 4x6 fuse pouches that I use more like a shaker pouch, and I just put some of the sequin mix in, and I added a little bit more of that same glitter just to add movement. And then I added that captured Maggie Holmes word, and I added a couple gemstones and a pearl. And those I add into my scrapbook, like my actual 12x12 scrapbook, using that red line tape right on the top that you can't even tell, and you can flip it up if you want to see more of my toes in the sand or whatever. So now I just added a puffy sticker to the picture of my daughter. We had a picnic before we went to the beach. It was the beach where you swim at is only about a fourth of a mile down from where the picnicking area was. So we stopped and had a picnic, and then we went to the beach. And now I am just really agonizing over that strip that I put on with my girls on the swimsuit. It says, I can't read it, it's too small on my screen. I bet you guys can read it though. Oh, you are so lovely. But I wanted to have kind of the floral part on there, so I finally did figure out a way. I cut kind of the longer strip in half and added both strips onto that 3x4. And now I'm just looking at my thickers, and I have a lot of consonants and numbers, but I don't have a lot of vowels left. So I was kind of picking and choosing what I was going to put on my title or my cards on the beach. So I decided I was going to do summer lovin', but then I didn't have any M's. I only had upside down W's, and they were dipped the wrong way. So then I thought, I will just type out summer on my typewriter. So then it says summer in typewritten, and then lovin' in the thickers, and then up on top, here I am contemplating what I have enough vowels to make left out of my thickers. And I think I figured out beach with an upside down V. Yep, and it looks fine, because I don't have any A's left. Yep, looks like beach to me. And then I typed out babe, so it'll say beach babe, and the babe part is typed out on my typewriter. And then once again, just added some pearls and Kaisercraft gems, and then some of the pearls, everything that came in the kit. Now I slowed it down a little bit because I'm almost done. I just took a second to type out my journaling and glue it down, which is just painfully boring to watch on film. And I added a strip of just white sewing around that card that said, "You got this, babe." And that was from the cut apart sheet. And now I'm just trying to figure out my last couple embellishments, because and next to me on my right is the left side of the spread, so I can kind of I can look back and forth between the table next to me and the table in front of me to make sure that my embellishing is even. I don't want one side to have too many dark colors or too many light colors, or not enough cork and too much cork on one side. So I decided that the right side of my spread here needed a little bit more cork, so I added 2 of those cork kind of starbursts and a couple of the gems, and I'm pretty much going to call it done at this point. Now at the end here, you're going to get a lot of close-up stills of the 6x8 that I made for last week's spread, which is kind of my bonus from last week, and then a whole bunch of stills from the layout that I just did for you. Now be sure to tune in again next Wednesday. This is my Tuesday, and Australia's Wednesday morning, to see another layout. I'm at least going to get 2, maybe 3 more Project Life layouts done before my next kit comes. I can't wait. So thank you so much, ladies, and I hope to talk to you all soon. Bye.